I've listened to Stay Hungry by Twisted Sister for 2 months.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record-ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, still hungry, is Connor.
And I'm not gonna take it.
Oh, you aren't gonna... Maybe I shouldn't take it either, so that way we're not gonna take it.
Yeah, so see you next week.
Wait, don't do that. I want to rock.
You gotta pay the price.
Okay, I'll do it, just don't let me down.
Burn in hell.
I left you with a lot of bad options. There really wasn't a good one. Yeah, we're talking about Twisted Sister this week. I figured we were a little overdue for some hair metal. Been a bit. Actually, I don't know if we've really done hair metal totally. We talked about Kiss. That's a little more glam, I think.
Hair metal is what the Tin Man has.
No, the Tin Man has metal hair.
What a dumb joke.
It was, but that's okay. Yeah, I figured we'd gone a little long the last couple weeks. I mean, we did 90s singles. Miranda Lambert, you're right. I admit, it was a long album that I made you listen to.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd rein it back in and go a little shorter this week.
Good.
Ray Stevens, pretty long. Miranda Lambert, long. Back to short now. Just 9 songs on Stay Hungry, actually.
Not gonna get very full. You are gonna stay hungry.
You're right.
Hungry for more Twisted Sister.
You might be. Who knows? You're probably hungry for Twisted Sister or for Spin It, and that's why you're here right now. So thanks if you're hungry for us. And if you're hungry for Twisted Sister, oh boy.
Also thanks.
Also thanks. Get ready.
We'll accept the thanks on behalf of Twisted Sister.
Yeah, we'll pass it along.
No, we won't. We'll just collect it.
Miranda Lambert never did show up.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. After we stopped recording the mixtaper, myself and her, we went clubbing.
Oh, fun. I didn't get invited.
You weren't around.
Did you stay till the ugly lights came on?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know Twisted Sister at all?
Yeah. We go clubbing all the time.
No, stop. Like, what's your experience with Twisted Sister's music?
Pretty much, I want to rock and we're not going to take it.
I would venture to say that's most people's experience with Twisted Sister.
I think that might be it. I don't know. So I'm blanking on any other of their songs.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Before I picked up this album, that was more or less my experience with Twisted Sister, save for one exception that we'll get into in a little bit. But this album really does kind of feel like more of that. I don't know. It's got the same feel to it as those two songs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Twisted Sister. You probably already know this. You're clubbing buddies.
Yeah.
But for the audience of people who may not know, Twisted Sister got together in 1972 in a small town in New Jersey. Back in the day, they used to be called Silver Star. And, much like they do today with you, they were hanging out in local clubs, playing music as many as 6 nights a week.
Where we met.
You met at one of Silver Star's 1972 club gigs?
No, just in the club.
Just in. That's not as cool of a story.
Well, I wasn't alive in 1972, sadly.
No. Yeah, you missed your chance for this.
But if I was, probably still wouldn't have happened.
Think of how different your life would be. You're right, it probably still wouldn't have happened. But maybe. There would have at least been a chance. Like I said, they were playing 6 nights a week, and they even played a 78-show residency in New York City. At one point, they played 105 shows in 98 days. Their workload was insane. And they weren't easy gigs either. This wasn't like a quick, cover set. Not an easy show. They had costume changes. They played really long sets. Sometimes they'd play until 8 in the morning the next day. And they did that 105 times in 98 days. Not the 8 a.m. thing, obviously. That happened less than that. But still, my point is it wasn't easy for them. They put in a lot of work. In those early days, the lineup did change a pretty good bit. A lot of folks in and out of the band. But people gradually came into the band, and eventually they made the classic, most famous Twisted Sister lineup that we're talking about today. Danny, aka Dee Snider, who's the vocalist and the lovely face on the cover of Stay Hungry. JJ French was the guitarist. Mark the Animal Mendoza played the bass. AJ Pero played the drums. Eddie Fingers Ojeda played the guitar. And honestly, what are the odds that we'd have a second guitarist that had the nickname Fingers?
That is odd.
It is. Don Felder from the Eagles also was old Don Fingers Felder. Can't believe it. It's happened twice. And according to my recently edited notes, turns out there was another member in Twisted Sister as well,
The most classic lineup.
named Connor, who played the mouth trumpet. Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah.
Which is...
I'm not at liberty to discuss. I have insight, but I withhold it.
Were you the top secret sixth Twisted Sister?
Twisted Sixther.
That's a mess of a word. I don't like it. Especially after Dee Snider joined the group, they really started to lean more and more into heavier metal, and audiences were rocking with it. They were really responding. Their shows started to grow. A lot of audience participation really kept fans drawn into the band. They were selling out bigger and bigger venues, breaking attendance records, and they actually started to develop a fan club. Their fan club actually bears a little bit of relevance to the album because the fan club is the SMFFOTS, the sick mother flipping friends of Twisted Sister, and, we'll talk about it in a bit. It got shortened down simply to SMF. So that's the fan club. It's a big acronym.
It is.
Yeah. Twisted Sister actually started their own record label in the early days and put out their first singles independently before they joined on with a small British punk label called Secret Records. Their first EP and the album Under the Blade came out in 1982, a whole decade, by the way, into their incredibly laborious music career. Like, this didn't happen overnight. They worked so hard to get to a debut album, but it was a hit, underground success. They even got to open for Motorhead on tour. The album was so successful, in fact, that Secret Records went out of business.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that was not the fault of Twisted Sister. That was just an unfortunate consequence. So, the band jumps ship, moves to Atlantic Records for their second record, a label that previously kind of snubbed them, but now that they'd proven themselves, they definitely wanted them. Their second record, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, was way more polished, way more professional, and with the support of a bigger label like Atlantic, they were able to make some music videos, get better promo, really start to build a bigger fan base that's less localized around New York, New Jersey. Then, in May of 1984, just 2 years after that debut record, they put out their third breakthrough LP, Stay Hungry. It's definitely hair metal, right? Hair metal's a pretty wide umbrella, I think, but it's not quite the same sub kind of glam metal that's like Def Leppard or Motley Crue. This record and Twisted Sister in general is a little grittier, a little darker in tone. It's interesting. It's a very unique kind of hair metal. Stay Hungry is actually the band's only platinum album. It's actually been certified platinum 3 times. So not only is it their only album to sell 1 million copies, it's tripled that record. And it was supported by, obviously, the band's biggest hits of all time in We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock. They also released The Price as a single, but it never quite got the same traction, which, to be honest, I understand. It was a pretty successful album. Loudwire put it at number 6 on their list of the greatest hair metal albums. Rolling Stone named it the number 76 greatest metal album of all time in 2017. So it's really kind of stood the test of time as a bit of a touchstone record in hair metal. And here's a fun fact that's related to another episode we've done. Young up-and-coming metal band Metallica was actually Twisted Sister's opener for the tour that supported Stay Hungry, which is funny because...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel like Metallica outgrew that role pretty quickly and pretty irreversibly, not too long after. And other trivia tidbits about this album. Remember I said there was one exception to my Twisted Sister experience aside from I Wanna Rock and We're Not Gonna Take It? I don't know if you know the 1985 movie Pee-Wee's Big Adventure with Pee-Wee Herman, but I do. We need to add it to the Spin It movie list.
I mean, I've also seen it.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Great. Well, that doesn't change anything. We still need to add it to the Spin It movie list because I want to watch it again.
Oh, fair enough.
In that movie, Twisted Sister makes a really, really great cameo. They recreated the filming of their music video for Burn in Hell, and they had Pee-Wee dance through it as like a little gag, which is hilarious.
That is pretty good.
Right? And it's not their only venture into film either. The song Horror Teria, track number 4 from the record, got turned into a movie in 1998 It was called Strangeland, and Dee Snider himself actually played the song's protagonist, Captain Howdy. Well, I don't know if you could really call him a protagonist. He's really just the focal point of the song. But Dee Snider got to be the murderous Captain Howdy. And in 2004, a good 20-some years later, the band re-recorded every single song on the album for a special 20th anniversary edition called Still Hungry, and it features 7 bonus tracks. So I guess we could have made this a pretty long episode, too, if we wanted to. Anyway, this album comes out. Big hit, breaks into the public eye in a very visible way, and it starts to cause this turmoil, starts to stir some things up. Their graphic, violent, and suggestive music, and the music videos that accompany with it, they weren't getting a lot of airplay. Their content was pretty much their death sentence, because nobody wanted to show this violent, gritty stuff that would rile kids and teens up on TV. They didn't want to be a part of that. So slowly, the band kind of starts to pursue solo projects, kind of get into other avenues. And in 1987, Dee Snider left the band. Their record contract was canceled. And that was kind of the end of Twisted Sister.
Sad.
It is sad. The sister got twisted. They did reunite and collaborate a couple different times in the upcoming decades, but in 2015, AJ Pero passed away from a heart attack, and the band decided to call it quits for good after one last farewell tour called the 40 and F It Tour in 2016. And I guess another person we've talked about a significant amount, but never really done an episode on, Dream Theater's Mike Portnoy. What hasn't he done? He filled in on drums for the tour, so that's kind of cool. In total, Twisted Sister would put out 7 studio albums, but the bulk of their material is from those first 5 records that came out before 1987.
Before we met.
The last 2 of their 7 albums are the Still Hungry re-release and the Twisted Christmas holiday album.
Honestly, I'm sorry, audience. That's really why they haven't had time, to do any more music. It's too busy clubbing.
Oh, you said they quit not because one of their members died, but because you're too busy partying with them?
Oh, there's a little bit of both. A
little bit of column A, a little column B.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, that's pretty much Twisted Sister as far as their recording career goes. It's no surprise really that with such, call it controversial content, and really only one album breaking platinum status, the band's list of awards is kind of short. Their legacy really outweighs their awards for reasons we'll get into in just a second. But in 2006, they were inducted into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame, and in January 2023, just a couple months ago, they made it into the Metal Hall of Fame as well, marking the occasion with a special one-time only performance. Not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet, and actually, Dee Snider really doesn't think that they need to be. He kind of thinks they didn't reach that caliber, which I can respect.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. And, as for their legacy, there's another significant bit to their story that we've kind of hinted at but haven't talked about. I don't know how much you know about Tipper Gore, the wife of former Vice President Al Gore, and all the stuff that went down with her in 1985. Have you...
She clubs with us, and from time to time, she doesn't always show up.
I really doubt that.
You don't know what kind of clubs we go to.
I guess not. But is that a thing you've heard of? Does the name ring a bell?
Tipper Gore?
Yeah.
Any relation to Al Gore?
Yes. You may have picked that up when I said she's the wife of former Vice President Al Gore.
I was too busy trying to think about how I was going to work clubbing into my next statement to pay attention.
Noted. Yes, related to Al Gore. But that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened with her. The long and short of it is she heard her daughter listening to a song by Prince, or the artist formerly known as Prince, who's now known as Prince again, and she thought it was so vulgar and so vile and so disgusting that something had to be done. So Tipper Gore launches the Parents Music Resource Center and went on this massive campaign against profane and unsavory content in music, like full-on warfare against profanity and suggestive content and violence in all kinds of music. She's actually the reason we have Parental Advisory stickers on album covers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Twisted Sister is one of the bands that was really under the gun with this in 1985. You can imagine that songs like Under the Blade, Burn in Hell, Captain Howdy, where children are murdered, that stuff is pretty emblematic of what she's talking about and kind of getting at with this whole lawsuit. Twisted Sister, along with others including Joey Ramone, Frank Zappa, And strangely enough, John Denver, like Country Roads Take Me Home, John Denver, they all testified before Congress about their music as they were trying to straighten things out and come to an agreement. You know, because they were protesting. They said, this is censorship. This is going to affect our album sales if we have to put stickers on things and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's the gist of Tipper Gore and the Parents Music Resource Center. But Twisted Sister's really caught up in that, which is a really unique, interesting trivia tidbit that I felt like we had to touch on.
Fair enough.
Fair enough indeed. So that's all I know. Now we get to find out what I don't know as the mixtaper
What you don't know. Oh, good segue.
leads us through the wonderful world of fact or spin.
Ooh. Oh, I guess that means I have to go.
Yeah, well, no. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to sit quietly.
Well, I gotta move away from the microphone.
Oh, see, okay, so every time I say you go somewhere, you go, I don't go anywhere. And then when you say you go somewhere and I go, no, you don't, you go, yes, I do.
No, well, it's because I'm still listening. I just can't speak. I have to move physically, but I'm still listening. I'm still part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the experience. Imagine me looking over your shoulder, cheering you on.
I consider you an integral part of the Factor Spin experience,
Oh, good.
to be honest. Well, let's see what the mixtaper can twist about Twisted Sister today.
Hey, it's me, the mixtaper.
Hello, welcome back to the show.
Good to be back. Hot off of,
Hot off a win. You're hot off a win.
yeah, hot off. Did I win Miranda Lambert?
You did.
All right. Hot off a win, which means all I have to do is tie this week, and my not losing streak has returned.
Yeah, you really did a great job coming back from that double shutout. You really recovered fast with a win last week.
Like I said, I can't best Connor. He's superior to me in every way when it comes to Factor Spin.
I don't know about... Listen. So you're off to start a streak this week, or trying to.
Trying to.
My goal is to prevent you from winning. So I hope you've only got a Classic 4, but you've surprised me with...
I do maybe only have a Classic 4.
I don't like that.
I got a fun little thing I'm doing this week, though.
A fun little thing? That's dangerous.
Yeah, we'll see if you can catch what it is. Here we go. Up first.
You don't tell me? I have to figure it out.
No, not this time. One of them almost was murdered by another one of them.
What a roundabout fact. Okay. Murdered or like manslaughtered? Is there intent or is this an accident?
This was murder.
Okay. Sometimes you say things and it makes me wonder how good you really are at making your voice sound like other people.
What do you mean?
Like, what was that accent?
The fact that you can't tell. I did a good job.
No, I don't think that's it. So, murder. I'm guessing it's Colonel Mustard in the library. No, what's the weapon here?
Rifle.
Oh, an intentional shot with a rifle. Yeah, that'd be almost murder. So did they shoot the rifle? Who's the victim? Who's getting shot?
Singer Michael Valentine O'Neill. Not one of the more famous members, but one of the members, nonetheless.
Yeah. I said in the early days, they had a pretty rotating door.
Uh-huh.
That's pre-Dee Snider.
Uh-huh.
Michael Valentine O'Neill was the lead vocalist from 1973 to 74.
Yeah.
Who was doing the shooting?
Sorry. Valentine was the one doing the shooting.
Oh, okay. Pivot. My question of who's the victim still stands.
Mel Starr Anderson.
Okay, their former drummer.
Yeah.
When does this happen?
December 1974.
Kinda thought that's what you'd say, because Michael Valentine O'Neill leaves the band in 1974, and it's probably pretty hard to continue playing in a band with someone who's tried to murder one of you. What's the conflict? What's the situation?
One of the roadies told Michael Valentine that he felt disrespected by bass player Kenny Neal.
Okay.
And so, while also drunk, frontman Valentine O'Neill said, "Oh yeah, well, let's go find him and I'll tell him to stop disrespecting you." They went looking for him.
Yeah.
But instead found Mel Starr Anderson, the drummer.
Okay. Totally innocent of everything right now.
Yeah, but he was until he told him to shut up.
And he didn't shut up?
Well, no, some heated words were exchanged, and then Valentine, who brought a rifle along so that he could go hunting,
just in case. Okay, hunting in quotes. Yes, go on.
grabbed the weapon after the drummer said, "What, you're gonna kill me?" Like a taunt. So then he grabbed his weapon.
Well, that's a bad taunt to issue to someone who will kill you.
Uh-huh.
So, what stops this from being a murder?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Then guitarist JJ French walks in.
Cool.
And he's like, oh my God, he's going to kill him. What are you doing? Stop that.
Appropriate reaction.
And so instead he just throws the gun on the ground and proceeds to punch him, and they start a fight.
What? Okay, that last part doesn't make sense.
Well, he decided he didn't want to kill him.
Well, that's fine. What a weird situation. I don't know what to make of this.
And then the roadie, who, accidentally started this whole thing by saying he felt disrespected, screamed,
Yeah.
I broke up Twisted Sister, and then ran out of the club and started running back out on barefoot out in the cold in Massachusetts.
Weird. Very weird. That's even stranger than the rest of the fact.
Yeah.
Like you just watched a guy almost get murdered. There's a brawl going on.
And he's like, I broke up the band. And
I must weep at the ending of my favorite club band. What? I think this is I don't know. There could be some crazy stories out here about this band.
Could be. Maybe there's a bunch of crazy stories and I didn't bring any of them. Maybe there's a bunch of lame stories and I brought all those.
I don't know. So they kick Valentine O'Neill out of the band after this.
I guess. I mean, this was part of what led to it. I don't know if it was because of it.
Maybe it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Kenny Neal, the guy that initially was charged with being rude, suffers nothing. Mel Starr Anderson is fine. Gets maybe punched a couple times, but walks away. Valentine O'Neill leaves the band.
Yep.
This is hard. I think this is... My gut wants to say spin. I think this is... I'm going to have to say fact.
Oh, he's going against the gut this week. It's against the gut kind of week.
I feel like it could be true.
Yeah, if that's what you feel like and want to lock in.
It's a convoluted circumstance, and I think if you were going to make it up, I feel like you'd streamline it a little bit.
Okay, playing the odds. Lock it in for me.
I'm going to lock in that this is true.
Locking in true. This is a convoluted fact.
Oh, that's real. That's a lot.
I thought I'd kick us off with some information about some lesser known members of the band, their wild antics.
I like it.
The wild antics that we're going to get into aren't just exclusive to the main members. It's just the band in general.
No, the sister's really twisted.
Yeah. My next one, Dee Snider, was a part of 2 Broadway productions. Almost.
Dee Snider in Broadway productions. Almost. Was he fully in either of them, or did he just come close both times? What's the almost apply to?
I don't really know if there's an answer to that. To either side. Like, it's a different thing entirely than either of the 2 you posited.
Okay.
I want to be clear because, I've been known to stretch the titles of these from time to time, right? In my dastard ways.
It's from time to time every week. Yes.
That is a time to a time.
Mr. Presidential mix-up. Come on.
I want the record to show I'm not the one stretching the title on this one. This is Dee Snider himself stretching the definition of Broadway production.
Okay, so he's into productions, and they're almost Broadway productions.
Yeah, even that's not quite there, but one of them is.
He's on Broadway twice, and they're almost productions. I'm trying to figure this out.
No, you're not gonna, because it really doesn't qualify.
I'm all out of permutations.
But we're going to talk about the one he was in first. He was in the 2014 New York Philharmonic concert staging of Sweeney Todd.
Oh.
Which he says is close enough to Broadway to count.
Well, it's not really, but I like that a lot. Sweeney Todd is similarly dark. And the theatrics of this album, stuff like Horatoria, Captain Howdy, like, I can get behind that. I can get into it.
Sure.
So he does that.
Yeah.
Now, is that a concert? I mean, you talk about Philharmonic. Is that he just singing the music, or is it actually a...
Yeah, well, it's singing the music, and then they've got, like, people in costume up on stage, kind of like acting it out. But
right. Like a little showcase kind of thing.
Yeah.
What part did he play? Was he Sweeney Todd?
No, he was just part of the group that sang the Ballad of Sweeney Todd.
Oh, okay. How big was the group?
I don't know.
Was anyone else notable in it?
Can't tell you.
Okay. What made him decide to do this?
He's just always had a thing for Broadway show tunes.
Sure. Okay.
Which, again, sounds like a weak answer, but is, like, totally true. He actually goes on to talk about how...
Of course you'd say it's totally true.
Well, you're right, I would. He talks about after the success of Twisted Sisters, A Twisted Christmas, it gave him the confidence to go be a part of any abstract project he felt like doing.
That's nice.
But now let's talk about the one that he almost did.
Yeah.
That he says also counts because he almost got the part.
Oh, but this one's an actual Broadway production.
This one's an actual Broadway production.
Okay. What's that one?
It was a limited engagement run of Phantom of the Opera.
Why would Phantom of the Opera need a limited engagement Broadway run if it's already, well, until recently, had a standing Broadway run?
Because it was to commemorate Phantom's 20th year on Broadway.
Oh, so it was like a special second performance with random people in it?
Not random, but yeah.
First of all, what part was he trying out for?
Well, he almost got cast as the Phantom.
That's hard to believe. Yeah, okay. And who did he lose out to?
John Cudia, who was a Broadway kind of name.
Uh-huh. Who else is in this show? What's so special about it as a 20th anniversary limited time thing?
Well, Whoopi Goldberg plays Christine.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's it. Can you imagine going to a musical that's Whoopi Goldberg and Dee Snider doing Phantom of the Opera?
That's what I want. It's what I want. I feel like we were robbed.
No, think about that. Do you really want that?
Yeah, for a limited run? Heck yeah. Be hilarious.
This one isn't sticking with me.
This one isn't sticking with you?
The Sweeney Todd one I like. I really think that's pretty good.
Just this specific production. Gotcha.
This specific bit about 20th anniversary Phantom, I think that's sounding spinnish.
So you think I gave you a partial truth?
Yeah, I do. I think this one's, I'm going to lock it in. Overarching on the whole spin.
Okay. This is a spin.
Oh! Pleasantly, well, I'm not surprised. I guessed it, but it's a relief every time you say the final word because I'm never 100%. I'm always like in the 70-80 range.
But your logic was off. Both of them were false.
Oh, well, good for you. You made up one that sounded really good. If you had just left it at that, maybe I would have believed it.
I wish I had.
Did a 20th anniversary limited run of Phantom actually happen?
Yeah, with Whoopi Goldberg and the guy I said.
Okay, I thought that maybe was true.
And Dee Snider did sing Music of the Night.
In the musical? Like, it's just the normal Phantom, except for that one song where Dee Snider comes in.
No, sorry. He released Dee Does Broadway in 2012, a studio album by Dee Snider, where he just did a bunch of Broadway songs, including The Ballad of Sweeney Todd and Music of the Night, which is where I pulled this from.
Oh, that's why I believed it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I bet he's got a really interesting take on Broadway songs.
Probably. Have you figured out what I'm doing yet, though? What my little fun thing is I'm doing?
Not 100%.
Oh, okay.
Are we increasing in scope? I mean, the first one you were very, like, one of them did this. This one's a 2 Broadway productions. Is fact 3 about to be a triple of something? Is this a 3-related fact?
I don't know. You tell me. The band was involved in a 3-car meltdown.
It sounds like I'm right. You didn't really confirm it, but we'll see if the pattern continues. I'm impressed that I got that off of 2 facts. Usually the things that you do are a lot more obscure. Okay, a 3-car meltdown.
Yeah.
Are they, I mean, maybe touring in like a touring caravan?
In a truck.
In a truck?
Yeah. I think it was probably like a box truck.
But what's the 3-car meltdown thing happening?
We'll get there.
Okay. They're in a truck. There are...
Well, hopefully they're not in
cars.
the truck.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
They were clubbing.
Okay.
Clubbing at their favorite club, Speaks, in 1978.
Yeah. And 3 cars melt down there?
Someone yelled while they were there, "Your truck's on fire."
Oh, no.
And they opened the door behind the stage, and their vehicle was completely engulfed in flames.
That's not good. How did that happen?
We'll get there. But it was so hot and so ablaze, it melted the adjacent vehicles on either side of the truck belonging to different bands that were also playing.
Oh, gosh. That's wild. Was anybody hurt? It sounds like everybody was out and inside the venue and all their gear was inside, right?
Their gear was not inside.
Oh, okay.
But all their stuff was inside.
Yeah, I meant inside the venue.
Oh, yeah.
Truck.
Sorry. Yeah.
That you said they were on stage. Like, imagine them being on stage without any of their gear. Right, I follow. So, what caused the fire? We know it wasn't Billy Joel. He didn't start the fire.
Could have been Johnny Cash.
Yeah, was this intentional? Was this like a malignant arson?
It was intentional.
Ooh, who did it? Did someone have a vendetta?
They found out 2 years later.
It was probably Valentine O'Neill coming back to get his revenge. Who did this?
They found out 2 years later when the ex-wife of the son of a rival club owner walked up to them randomly while playing at a Pac-Man bar
What? What? Okay, very specific. The ex-wife of the son of a rival club owner. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Guy owns a club. His rival has a kid.
No. They were playing at a club when their truck burned down. The ex-wife of the son of a rival club owner to that club that they were playing at.
Yeah, that club, they've got... Okay, we'll make the tree here. There's that club.
Yeah.
Club A.
Club A.
Owner of Club B hates Club A.
Yeah.
Owner of Club B has a son.
Heck yeah.
Who has a wife.
Heck yeah.
Who frequents Pac-Man bars.
Well, has an ex-wife.
Yes. Well, at one point he did. Anyway, she says, hey, my father-in-law burnt down your truck.
No.
I burnt down your truck to get in good with my father-in-law?
No, her ex-husband did it.
Oh.
After her ex-father-in-law told him to do it.
It was a hit.
Uh-huh.
So Twisted Sister just got caught in the crossfire of a club war.
Yeah.
This one, I'm gonna say, is a spin.
Going with spin, even with all the details.
Yeah, especially with all the details. You know what does it for me? Is the fact that it was a Pac-Man bar. I think that feels to me like the kind of padding that you would put in going, well, surely he'll believe it if I am specific about a weird Pac-Man bar. Like, that may throw him off the scent.
Oh, man. You're picking up on my habits, my tendencies.
I'm trying.
Good thing I have no habits or tendencies. This is a true fact.
Oh, maybe I was a little quick to bite on that because I really did think that it could be true until you said that last bit about the Pac-Man bar. The meltdown sounded believable.
3-car meltdown.
Yeah, there goes my shutout.
Yep. And really puts the pressure on for this last one.
It's going to be 50-50 or I'm going to win.
Either the streak lives or dies.
No, it's not it's not a streak.
Well, the streak lives or isn't born.
This is you not losing, I guess.
Yeah, the not losing streak will begin.
Right. Tell me what they've done 4 of.
They caused 4 separate clubs to be destroyed.
That's a lot. I thought you were just doing the club thing as like a bit. I didn't realize you were setting up how much...
Wait, who's doing a club thing?
Well, just you and Twisted Sister, how much you go clubbing.
What? I don't go clubbing with them. Connor does that.
Okay, right. Sorry. I didn't realize... Yeah, what a coincidence. Didn't realize almost all the facts were going to be club related.
They played a lot of clubs. What can I say?
Apparently. Now, was one of the clubs the one that was arson attacked?
No.
That's not one of the ones that was destroyed. Because I guess they didn't cause that either. What happened? Just rowdy fans trashing the place?
I mean, yeah.
Interesting.
But they were told to do it.
Who was told to do what? The fans were told to trash the place?
Yeah.
Or the band was told to have the fans trash the place?
Both.
What? Hey, we want some insurance on our failing club. Why don't you just have everyone rip it to shreds?
Pretty much. Not quite, but yeah, pretty much.
Not quite, but exactly.
The club owner said, by the way, we're closing tonight. It's like the last night that this club's open, and we hate our landlord, so, we don't really care what you tell people to do. Tell them to smash it up for all we care.
That would be hectic, but maybe the most fun metal show ever.
And so, yeah, at that gig, they told the crowd that it was the last night and that they wanted people to take everything.
Turns out that guy wasn't the owner, and the club was open for 3 more years. That'd be funny. Wild. So that's one club.
Oh, no, we're not done. And boy, did people take everything.
Yeah?
When I say they trashed this club, they trashed this club.
What's the most ridiculous thing they took?
Well, they went to the bathrooms and took the stalls and the fire alarms.
Fire alarms?
They took pieces of the wall and pieces of the structural foundation of the building.
That is insane.
They brought down the false ceiling and caused the plumbing to burst a leak. They had to wade through water to retrieve their gear back from on stage.
Oh my gosh. What you're saying is that night they sang, "We are gonna take it." You name it, we're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's just one club. Are there any other clubs that were destroyed intentionally, or are there just a couple other accidental mosh pit-induced destructions?
After hearing about the unrehearsed demolition, 3 other New York and New Jersey club owners asked them to do the same thing.
They were all asked to be destroyed?
Yeah.
Why? Were they all closing? Or was this just a publicity stunt?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like they were all closing. I think it was just because of the popularity and like how much it drew in a crowd.
That is so wild. No, but if you draw in the crowd to make all the money, surely you got to put all that back into repairing, the structural foundations of your building? No way. No way that's profitable.
I don't know.
Here's where you got me with this one. Here's what I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like that this is 4 clubs. I don't like that you've done this 1, 2, 3, 4 thing.
4 of a kind.
Because it's either a really lucky coincidence or you're lying. You've only spun one of these. I'm trying to determine whether you found 1, 3, and 4, and we're like, oh, I can make a 2 fact and fill it all in. Or if you found 1 and 3 and went, But I think this is so outrageous.
You're going to go true?
I am. Yeah, I think it has to be true.
See, I know your tendencies and habits.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of one that I want to believe again.
Oh, okay.
But also, again, Twisted Sister has a reputation for being kind of a rowdy band out there and playing as many shows as they played. I'm sure, 4 times this could have happened. Mm-hmm. And I really do think it's very plausible you could have found a 1, 3, and 4.
Sure. Before you lock this in, though, I do have one other interesting tidbit.
Oh, can you do the thing where you pinky promise that this tidbit's not going to turn it into a spin?
I cannot pinky promise anything, no.
Now I'm going to lock in fact, and now you can tell me whatever you want.
Okay, you're still going to lock in fact, even though I can't pinky promise anything?
Well, I'm locking in fact before you say this tidbit, because I suspect...
Oh, no, I said before you lock in fact, you're not allowed to lock in yet. Not allowing it.
No, whatever you're about to say is going to make it false.
Not necessarily.
Say what you're going to say.
Connor was in the club. No. So the 3 clubs that they were asked to destroy were Emmett's Inn, The Soap Factory, and 2001 Odyssey, which is where John Travolta's famous dance in Saturday Night Fever was filmed.
Interesting.
Which means Twisted Sister destroyed the club that Saturday Night Fever was filmed in.
That is interesting.
And at 2001, weapons were confiscated from fans who went through the metal detectors. At the Soap Factory, the wallpaper was torn off the wall, and pure sheetrock came down with it too sometimes. And that's it. That's all I got.
I'm concerned.
Okay.
You only named 3 clubs.
What are you talking about? Well, because there's the 4th one that we were already talking about. Didn't I tell you the name of the first one?
No.
Oh, Hammerheads.
That was scary what you just did. I don't know how to feel about it.
It's Hammerheads.
Hammerheads is a pretty good club name. I don't think that's one you made up on the spot. I'm going to say that this one is still a fact.
Still a fact? See, told you. I just wanted to give you the information.
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I don't know, though. Why'd you only say 3? You said But what you said verbatim is the 3 clubs that they destroyed. You didn't say the other 3
new ones. The 3 other ones. I didn't give you a whole book report on.
Okay.
Sticking with fact, or are you too scared? Little chicken?
I don't know what to do.
Stick to your guns, you coward.
Why would you encourage... I can't... Now it's the double psychology thing where, like, are you saying that because you want me to say fact? Were you saying that because you want me to switch?
No, you're right. I don't want to influence you, so I'll stop and let you just make your decision.
Great. I don't know what to do. I'm going to stick with fact.
Sticking with fact. Are you sure? Because you seem pretty wishy-washy on it.
It was not an easy decision, but I think this is true. You scared me with your wording, but I do believe that it was just an accident.
Okay. Officially. Locked in.
Locked in. I was locked in before you said that last part.
And now you're locked in after I said it.
Yeah.
Not changing it.
Nope.
All right. This is...
Hold on.
Oh.
I don't want to change it. I just wanted to make you stop.
Okay. You scared me. A true fact.
Yay! I stuck to my guns, unlike the guy that almost murdered someone. And it paid off.
Why didn't you change your answer? Why didn't you change it?
No, it's because it was 134. 134. I was like, that makes sense. You would spin a 2 in that case.
Yeah, but the problem is that's not how it went.
Oh, it's not?
I found 1 and 4. And then said, how can I shoehorn in a 2 and a 3 with a spin? And then in the process of researching other things to find something to base a spin off of, I found the 3-car meltdown. And went, oh, well, look at that.
Huh. What a happy accident.
Yeah.
Well, my logic was flawed, but my conclusion was correct. I'm glad I've got a win back after a really interesting couple weeks.
You just had a win back 2 weeks ago.
The host team had a win.
Yeah.
But me personally, I haven't had a win since ZZ Top.
Post win counts for you, so you should be happy you won that episode.
Well, I am happy. Ecstatic. I've never been anything else.
All right, good.
I'm pretty happy this week, though. I prevented that streak.
Oh, it was a close one.
It was down to the wire.
But we'll see how close next week is on another exciting round of fact or spin.
That one will be down to the piano wire.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, you can come back over to the microphone now.
Thank you.
Since you stepped away but never left. Yeah.
Worried you weren't going to get that last one.
I was worried too.
I wish you would stop confusing me with the mixtaper, though. Really hurtful.
It's an honest mistake.
You should really be able to tell us apart. I mean, we've been friends for way longer.
He deliberately makes his voice sound like you. That's all.
Yeah.
And I feel like he also maybe slipped up and definitely said he went clubbing with Twisted Sister at least once.
I don't think he did.
But I don't know. We'll have to check the tapes.
Although I think I maybe invited him one time, just, as a pity invite.
The mixtaper got to pity club with Twisted Sister.
Added to the canon.
Yep. Let's talk about the album art on Stay Hungry. Boy, it's a fun one.
I'm hungry for it.
You're hungry for it? It's Dee Snider, dressed in tatters, crouched in a corner, just chomping on a giant raw bone. What an image.
As one does.
As one does. Is this what he does at the clubs?
It's usually how the club night ends. Usually we know it's time to go when Dee's in the corner chomping on a bone again. It's like, uh-oh, time to go.
Time to get out of here. What do you think? Does he look hungry?
Yeah, in like a ravenous sort of hungry pack of wolves kind of way.
And also look at his makeup. What's with that? What do you think? Good, bad, otherwise?
Otherwise. Mainly because I don't know what that means.
If it's other than good or bad, otherwise I guess would imply that it's in the middle. He's got this really blue eyeshadow on, and these red triangles or points on his cheeks. It's a captivating image, to say the least. It's going to catch your eye and kind of make you go, oh, okay. And I guess it's a good job at blending the darker, more the kind of things on this album that would make Tipper Gore suit you. Also, blended with their just general attitude, as a band, the way that they kind of present themselves. It seems to be a good representation of the record. Their logo is also pretty cool, too. It's a little T and an S made of bones, all twisted. Looks like a diamond with a hat.
It's a cool logo.
It's great. The only technical fact I have about it is that Bob Deffrin was the art director for the album. So he's the creative mind behind stuff like this. Thanks, Bob.
Wow.
Anyway, let's talk about these 9 tracks. Starting with track number 1, a title track right off the bat, Stay Hungry.
I like it when an album starts off with its title track.
Yeah, it lets you know what it's all about right away. Especially this title track. It's super high energy. This explosion of hair metal really scratches that itch right away and sets the tone pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I liked it.
I did too. I honestly think, from what I can remember off the top of my head, it's definitely the fastest song on the album. The most intense, tempo-wise. It's not about literal hunger, of course. It's about maintaining a passion to chase after your dreams and your desires. Really wholesome. Surprisingly so, as a matter of fact, given the album cover and just the general sound of the music. Stay hungry, don't let your passions die. The second verse kind of takes it up, though, lyrically to another level. They say, never show you're weak, be the hunter and the hunted. Stay motivated, don't let your guard down. It's interesting. I'm not sure these are earth-shattering lyrics. They're not mind-blowing certified poetry. They do enough to carry the songs, I think, but for the most part, this record on the whole feels a little lighter in the lyric department.
I see.
I don't know, did you kind of get the same sense?
I didn't notice much of a difference, I guess. The whole next song is just them saying we're not going to take it over and over.
Well, actually, we'll get to that in a minute. I thought we're not going to take it's a little bit of a better side to the lyrics. I don't know, what do you think about hair metal in general? Are you a hair metal guy? Where does it rank on your genre preference?
Am I allowed to be?
Yeah, you're allowed to be whatever you want.
Yes, I am a fan.
Okay, that's good.
I'm staying hungry.
One thing I do like, though, they do a good job, while the lyrics, again, aren't mind-blowing, in the third verse, he does a nice little pivot, and they talk about what will happen to you if you don't stay hungry, which I think is a great new direction to keep this concept from getting completely stale, because I think by the end of verse 2, we've juiced almost literally everything out of the concept of staying hungry for your dreams. So it's nice that they found more room to move in the third verse.
I do like that.
I think it's a fun song. I like it. It's a good tone setter again, but yeah, it has nothing on track 2. We're not going to take it.
This is our life. This is our song.
This is not our song. It's Twisted Sister's song.
It's ours now. They gave it to me. I wanted it in a bed at the club.
They gave it to us. They said it right there in the lyrics.
Yeah.
This is the song that launched the band into infamy, and I feel like long into the future, long after Twisted Sister is like a distant memory, this song is still going to stand alone in their catalog as like the one, you know?
Yeah.
Now, most of the album Dee Snider wrote in one 45-minute writing session, which is kind of wild for a 36-minute album. I mean, wrap your head around that. 45 minutes to write 36 minutes of music. That's wild.
Yeah.
But the lone exception is the main hook of We're Not Gonna Take It. He sat on that for 3 years before he was able to figure out what he wanted to go with it and turn it into a full song. And yeah, he leans heavy on that hook. Like you said, on the chorus, they really do just repeat, we're not gonna take it, we're not gonna take it. But I thought the lyrics were kind of above the standard for the rest of the record. The chorus is simple because it's that whole idea very distilled into its key component. But the verses really kind of have this measured and mature rationale that back and justify the passion of the chorus.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you're right, the chorus is it. Actually, to listen to the song, it bears a lot of resemblance to the Christmas song, O Come All Ye Faithful.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Twisted Sister, acknowledged this. They actually did a cover of the song where they set the lyrics from O Come All Ye Faithful to the music from We're Not Gonna Take It. Melody aside, thematically, the songs could not be very much more different.
Yeah.
It peaked at number 21 in the United States, and it's another one of those songs that drew a lot of ire for the rowdy themes. It's one of the band's songs that made the PMRC's Filthy 15 list that they took before Congress.
Wow.
One of the 15 filthiest songs.
I don't know about that.
That's what they say. And Dee Snider doesn't know about that either. He argued there's absolutely no violence of any type either sung about or implied anywhere in the song. And I gotta agree with him. He's really kind of right. Not kinda, he just is right.
Yeah, I agree.
He wrote the song, he knows what's here.
I mean, he could have just been lying. He could have still been wrong. But he wasn't.
No, but listen to the song. I mean, there's not a smidge of violence. In fact, he actually wrote it to be just a general teen anthem that was really broad in scope so he could apply it to all kinds of different situations. So it's not just, one specific group that's not taking it. Anybody cannot take it and convert this.
To be fair, he does call them all worthless and weak.
I mean, the people that are trying to make them take it are worthless and weak.
Yeah, and then saying, now drop and give me 20, that's pretty violent.
Push-ups?
Make me do push-ups? Yeah, that's pretty violent.
Well, no way. I guess we don't know 20 of what. We're inferring push-ups.
Drop and give me 20 punches to the face.
That's pretty violent.
Yeah.
I think We're Not Gonna Take It is probably the best song on this album, just all around. It's a great one.
As the people's champion, I agree.
There you go. I was gonna say, this is the one Twisted Sister will be known for.
Also, I think I have double rights to make that statement.
Stop.
The people's champion and the Twist Master General.
I knew where that was going before you said it. I hate you.
I'm the Twist Master General.
You're the expert on all things twisted, including Twisted Sister. Wow, how did that get so relevant in the very next episode? That's unreal.
How did we not put it together until an hour into the recording?
Yeah, I don't know, but now it's here. Darn it.
Yeah.
I really thought that was like a one-episode bit. I didn't think you were going to get any other opportunities for Twist Master. What do I know? Well, we move on from We're Not Gonna Take It to
Into Hell.
Well, yeah. It's a lesser-known Twisted Sister cut. Not unknown. Still one of the more popular tracks on the album. And like I said, the one that's featured in Pee-Wee Herman's big adventure, Burn in Hell. This is a long song.
Yeah.
It's the second longest on the album.
Not as long as the next one, but yeah.
The next song is like 2 songs in one, so it doesn't really count the same.
Fair.
And to be honest, for me, the verses just don't do much for me on Burn in Hell.
Yeah, I agree.
They're slow. They're, to be frank, boring. And again, the lyrics.
I like the way they're sung.
Oh yeah, he sings great. Tonally, it fits the vibe very well. But again, lyrically, abandoned land, take my hand, no work or play, 1 bill to pay, 5 words to say. Like, ugh, that's those are easy, kind of lowball rhymes. That's the kind of stuff, like a verse like that is what I think shows the places where this album was written in 45 minutes. And not to mention the chorus. They are really good at paring down lyrical substance in the chorus. Look at Stay Hungry. The chorus is, stay hungry. Look at We're Not Gonna Take It. The chorus is, we're not gonna take it. Look at Burn in Hell. The chorus is, you're gonna burn in hell. Like, that's it. It's fine.
It's fine. That's a good summary of that song.
It's a metal song. The instrumental work, I think, is better than anything lyrical in this song. But a song that does deviate from that chorus pattern,
In a way.
a little bit,
Depends on your definition.
is Horror-Teria, a song that comes in 2 parts.
Part A, Captain Howdy, where the chorus is stay away from Captain Howdy.
Yeah.
And part 2, Street Justice, where the chorus is call for street justice. So
really, it's not very different at all. I guess you're right. Just the stay away part is what sticks in my head from the chorus instead of the Captain Howdy part.
yeah.
But no, you're right. So this song, I mean, what a wild story song. I can't believe that Tipper Gore and Congress started to go to war over the violence and we're not going to take it, and not Horror-Teria.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think this is one of the most twisted.
No, you know why? Because we're not going to take it was super popular, and this wasn't.
You might be right. You're right. Probably a big part of it.
All the people who were so upset about all this crap were like, this is a popular song that I know of. They didn't even know this song existed because they didn't actually care.
Well, you're right. And it's an album cut, not a single, not something people are hearing on the radio a lot.
Yep.
True. Good observation. But I think this is one of the most, pun intended, twisted songs that we've done. Right next door to Avenged Sevenfold's A Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah.
Same level. So part A, Captain Howdy, is about a guy. This Captain Howdy character, again, who Dee Snider plays in the movie, who lures kids into this dreamy land. The verses are kind of spoken from his perspective, but they get broken up by that ominous warning from a third party telling all these kids to
stay away from Captain Howdy.
Exactly.
Do you think they named him Captain Howdy just so it would rhyme with away when they sang it?
Maybe. But also, it's just that's like a gung-ho little stupid name, you know?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll agree with stupid. I don't know about gung-ho.
I picture this kind of like, I mean, we talked about John Wayne Gacy on our Illinois episode. Feels like that kind of serial killer situation where he's like a clown or an entertainer.
Okay.
Captain Howdy, it feels like his persona, right? And he's luring these kids in as this fun, again, dare I say, gung-ho, Captain Howdy. And then, yeah, he lures all these kids in. He locks the doors, traps them inside, and murders them pretty needlessly. What a bad dude.
I mean, most murder is needless.
Okay, point taken. So that's part 1. And that chorus, something about its simplicity is so memorable. I mean, you only listen to this album once and you can still sing Stay Away from Captain Howdy.
Yeah. It's a nice little hook.
It is. So the second part of the song is Street Justice. Captain Howdy gets caught. Some dad somewhere goes looking for his missing kid, and the hunt inevitably leads to Captain Howdy. So he gets arrested, put on trial before a judge, who, after a 3-drink lunch, gets drunk and lets Captain Howdy go free on a technicality. What a bad judge, first of all.
Yeah.
But second, I mean, so what do you do when that happens? Well, you call for street justice. The mob forms, smoke fills the air, they resolve to kill him. And we don't really know definitively how the song ends, but it can be pretty safely inferred that Captain Howdy gets his comeuppance. The song ends with kill him, get him. So I assume he gets got.
And let that just be a lesson, all you potential murderers out there. You'll get got.
You'll get got. I feel like this isn't the best song to play for potential murderers.
Yeah, probably not.
For the record, if you are a potential murderer listening to this podcast, don't be.
Yeah.
That's our Spin It PSA. Podcast service announcement.
Yeah, well, that is our official stance, and you can quote us on that. If you're a murderer, don't.
We did just do a whole fact about almost murder. It's a murdery episode.
Well, but they were almost murder and not actual murder. Almost murder, we'll tolerate.
No.
I can forgive almost murder.
I mean, yeah, that's different. It's different. Anyway, that's Horror-Teria. Also, what a campy name. Horror-Teria? That's rough. I like the song. 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Feels a little long. It's saved by the 2-part split, but it's up there. The next song on the album, I'll be honest, Twisted Sister was not the first version I was familiar with.
Whoa.
Yeah, the next song is I Wanna Rock.
Rock!
I feel like the guitar should have played right there. All I can think about when I hear this song, and it's just solely a result of the era in which I grew up, is the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, man. I didn't even think about that.
You didn't think about that?
No.
You didn't listen to the song and go, I'm a goofy goober?
No.
Wow.
Can't say I did, but I'm also familiar with this song.
Yeah. So you watch the SpongeBob movie and think of Twisted Sister?
No.
Oh.
That's a movie we should put on the Spin It movie list.
I'm all for it. It's a great movie.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Clearly not. But yeah, this song gets a little parody in the SpongeBob movie where he saves the day. This is like the movie's climax, which is kind of bizarre. In this case, though, it's another high point for this album. Excellent choice to put it at track 5. I mean, especially right after Horror-Teria. This is a real kind of jumpstart to the second half of the record. This is one that came together especially quickly. Dee Snider said it was his attempt to capture that Iron Maiden feel, which I think he does pretty well. I don't know if you're familiar with Iron Maiden.
Sure am.
Okay, well, this feels up that alley. He said that once he started singing a melody, all the lyrics and stuff came together right as he sang. And I think that shows to me. This song is fun to listen to, don't get me wrong. High energy, lots of fun, love it. It's sloppy, lyrically, really undercooked. Once you get away from that really perfect hook of I Wanna Rock, it goes pretty far downhill pretty fast. It doesn't rhyme, it's jumpy, it's pointless, it feels lazy. The verses of the song are atrocious.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like it's another moment where I could just tell it was written so fast. Like, do a little lyrical legwork. I understand not every song can be We're Not Gonna Take It, or Stay Hungry, or a Horror-Teria type story, but like, ouch. But all I gotta say to you is time and time again, I say no, 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 no. Ow, like painful. That's painful. So if you ask me why I like the way I play it, there's only one thing I can say to you. Cringe. I love the song. I hate the verses. Some of the worst lyrics on this album in one of the album's best songs. It's the cognitive dissonance is real on I Wanna Rock.
Yeah, it doesn't really get that dissonant for me. I don't really care.
Oh, well.
I like it.
Okay. Well, I like it too. And so do a lot of people. It never did quite as well as We're Not Gonna Take It, but it did hit number 68 in the US, number 98 in the UK. And in 2006, VH1 named it the number 20 greatest metal song of all time.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's got its merits. Don't let me discredit it too much. It's just that to read these lyrics outside of the context of the song, bleh, that's all. Anyway, let's move on and talk about The Price, the album's third single and requisite hair metal album power ballad, because it seems like every album has to have at least one.
It's a good one.
I agree. It never broke into the overall charts, but on the mainstream rock chart, it did get to number 19.
Pretty good.
It's the only other exception to the 45-minute album right from Dee Snider. Like, he had that hook for We're Not Gonna Take It for a long time. He had this song, it took a little longer, and it's from a different writing session. So it's kind of outside of the flow of the rest of the album.
Gotcha.
He wrote it after a phone call with the sister-in-law of J.J. French, which is not as convoluted as the ex-wife of the son of the rival club owner. But it was back in those payphone days, the long-distance call days. So when the band was out on the road for months at a time, keeping in touch with your family was really hard to do. And one day, they were recording, the studio phone was ringing, Dee Snider picked up, and it was J.J. French's wife. She asked how he was doing. He was talking about how much he missed his family. And you know what she said? She said, that's the price you have to pay.
Dang.
Yeah, to be a touring musician and be on the road, just kind of the cost of doing business. And he picked up a tape recorder right away, just cranked this song out on the spot too. At least the melody and a good chunk of the lyrics. He says, the whole song just poured out of me, which I can believe. It's a very, heartfelt song. Sometimes those are the easiest ones to write. And it's pretty good. I do think, as fast as he wrote it, it's still a significant lyrical relief after I Wanna Rock, to me.
Fair.
It felt like the chorus was emotional, pretty powerful, pretty well crafted. The price we gotta pay and the games we gotta play makes me wonder if it's worth it to carry on. Really, that whole chorus is fantastic.
I don't know. Pay and play. Pretty bad rhyme. Pretty weak. Just saying. A few tracks ago.
No, that's entirely different in the context of Burn in Hell.
You say so.
But you're right. He also does on that talk about a bill to pay. You're right. No, you know what? Those lyrics are very similar.
There we go.
Well, no, but it's, again, though, the context is different. It's not just, you're gonna burn in hell. It's like,
It's just
It's emotional.
you gotta pay. It's a different kind of emotion.
It makes me wonder if it's worth it to carry on.
Burning in Hell is emotional to some people.
It's him wondering if it's worth it to carry on. It's him grappling with this inner turmoil, and even though it's a life he chooses, this is still a sacrifice he has to make. It's not just like, ooh, scary, screw you, this is the rest of your life, like that.
I feel like that's just how you've chosen to interpret it. I feel like you've got some bias going on here.
That's how it's presented.
If you say so.
Either way, I said at the top of the episode that the lyrics throughout this entire album are a little subpar. So, there's that. But I do think it's a good single, and I do think it's one of the album's brighter spots or high points. It is the third most popular song on the record. So, as the people's champion, you should know that the people agree with me.
No, I agree with the people that this is a good song. I was disagreeing with you on your take about crappy rhymes.
What happened to you? You used to be the crappy rhymes guy. You used to hate that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I can so many times. That's why Take Notes Kanye happened. It's because you didn't like his weak rhymes.
Well, if he needed to take notes, I don't know what you want from me.
I think Dee Snider could take some notes.
Listen, well, I'm the Twistmaster General, and I veto your take notes.
I hate it. Okay, well, anyway, let's talk about Don't Let Me Down. Don't Let Me Down is okay. It's about a relationship that's failing. The first verse doesn't really clue us in, doesn't give us much of an indication. He just kind of describes how much he wants to keep her. But then the chorus, paired with the second verse, kind of pivots it. He laments that everything he does for her just isn't good enough, which reminded me a lot of Everything She Wants by Wham. Do I have to die to show you my stuff? Well, I give you my best, so why don't you understand? Like, it's kind of it, as far as the song goes lyrically. It's a one-sided plea for her to recognize all the effort he's trying to put in, and we really don't get any closure on where this relationship is headed.
Yeah, we don't. It's sad.
It is. It's another high-energy song. It's the only one, I think, that rivals Stay Hungry in its intensity. But you know what? I really don't... The verses aren't super memorable, melodically. It's really just that chorus, which, again, don't let me down. They're still on that very predictable chorus lyric.
I really like the word play and pay.
You're right. You're right. They did it again.
Verse 3.
Just want to play. That's all he says. He just wants to play.
Big fan of that A sounds. I don't have a lot about this song. It was all right. It existed.
It existed. It sure did. It sure does. And it exists so much you could still go listen to it right now if you want. But let's talk about the Beast and the nature of it. We're almost there. Track 8. The Beast reminded me a lot of Metallica's The Thing That Should Not Be. Remember that one from the episode in the 40s? Mm-hmm. It's another mysterious, terrible creature, almost Lovecraftian, almost like Cthulhu. I don't know. Maybe it's meant to be a physical monster. Maybe it's meant to be a spiritual demon. We're not sure. He implores you to listen to a priest, but he describes the Beast like it's this very literal, physical killer. So who knows?
It reminds me of the Kings Island ride.
Of the roller coaster, The Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. That's one of my favorite roller coasters on this planet. Not that I have a big, huge frame of reference.
As a total roller coaster guy that you are.
I've ridden a few, but The Beast is probably the pinnacle for me. As far as, like, that's the most roller coaster I've ever been on. But that's not the Beast they're singing about.
No. Could be.
No, it could have been if they wrote a different song. This one is a sneaky beast. It creeps up on you and is really stalking you, gonna kill you, take you down silently. They say you're his only target, his only goal. And to me, it's kind of fitting on a Stay Hungry album, where the first track encouraged you to be the hunter and the hunted. On songs like We're Not Gonna Take It and Street Justice, you're kind of doing the hunting, whereas Captain Howdy, I guess, and The Beast give you a taste of what it's like to be at the other end of the gun, to be the one being hunted.
I just want to say one thing about this song.
About The Beast? Yeah, what is it?
I'm like a runaway, a heart without a home. All those can laugh and play. It's here again.
They're playing. This is just a fun... You know what? Twisted Sister just wanted to play. They just wanted to have a fun time and play.
Yeah, players be playing.
Uh-huh. What else they're playing is instruments. Honestly, the big heart behind this entire album is their music and their instruments and just their hair metal style. I think they execute that so well. And it's impressive, their stamina as a band, that they can have such an illustrious live performing career and back it up with songs like these. That's kind of what, I mean, this album standalone, I guess we're kind of edging into Final Spin territory with this statement, but this album standalone, it's all right. As hair metal albums go, it's one of the best. But I think in the context of Twisted Sister as a band and their image, their attitude, their career, I mean, that's where this album really shines. But anyway, we got one more song to talk about before we really get into Final Spin. And it's all about Twisted Sister fans, kinda. It's called SMF. And we already kind of talked about in the very beginning of the podcast what that means. Sick Mother Effer, which is also a nickname for the members of the Twisted Sister fan club, which Dee Snider actually had to admit, I think for the first time, when he testified before Congress. I don't know if it was widely known before then what it stood for.
No playing on this song, but living for today, not what others say. Still got that A going strong.
Plenty of A on SMF, yeah. It's about somebody who stands out in a crowd, doesn't really fit in with their family and friends. They kind of describe this person, they say, can't they see you're different? So hungry and so lean. Weird way to describe someone. They say you're a walking wonder, you're a metal machine. So I don't know in this instance if the sick means sick like wicked, cool, or sick like twisted. But honestly, it's kind of anyone's guess. And it seems to me like the band would argue that it doesn't matter because in their eyes, the two kind of sicks overlap a little bit. I mean, they say it straight up in verse 3. We're the ones that live it. We are all really free. And if they think that we're sick, then sick is what we'll be. I kind of put this song in the same camp as Burn in Hell. The way that they sing it, just the way that they hit that S, M, F, kind of feels like down, down, down on Burn in Hell. Like there's a parallel there that I always kind of draw. And I would kind of say that this whole album can be grouped up as such. Maybe, I don't know, how many groups would you put these 9 songs in? I would kind of put We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock in one group. Stay Hungry and Don't Let Me Down kind of go in another. I feel like Burn in Hell, Horror-Teria, The Beast, and SMF kind of go together, and I guess that just leaves The Price kind of groupless. But they all feel like they go together. Anyway, SMF, I think it's a solid, assertive end to the album. It's their statement that, they're not ashamed of what they do or what they create. It's defiant, it's rebellious. I think that's an attitude that really does just encompass this entire band and what they stand for. So there. Let's get into Final Spin.
Let's do it.
Oh, you didn't say let's spin it this episode, I don't think. I just realized. I know we're a little late.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I gotta keep them guessing.
Keep you dressing.
What did you say? Sorry?
I keep them guessing.
It sounded like you said keep them dressing.
I might have.
I'm just...
I might have accidentally said that.
Anyway, let's talk scores. The music on this album, generally pretty strong, usually pretty samey. Verses generally fall victim to a very much more memorable chorus. It's just because those choruses are so short, so like burst of intensity and energy. So those are what really stick with you. Given music in 83, lyrically, this album feels like a 3-car meltdown in a lot of spots. It's got its merits. Like I said, We're Not Gonna Take It is by far the lyrical standout. And there are other moments on songs like Stay Hungry and The Price that really kind of do it for me. The Beast is pretty clever. SMF has some good themes. Sometimes the lyrics, to write an album in 45 minutes, that's fine. That's great. Don't be afraid to go in and tweak it. Clean it up. Write some replacement lyrics. I Wanna Rock feels like falling down the stairs on the verses. It's just so clunky and uncomfortable. I just really didn't like it. Horror-Teria, a little dark, living up to that Twisted and the Twisted Sister name. I'm giving lyrics an 81, which I think is kind of a benefit of the doubt score. Instruments and production, gotta love the hair metal. It's heavy, it's gritty, it's kind of dirty, love it. And they're great instrumentalists. Some fun guitar solos and stuff in here. They kind of epitomize that defiant attitude through the way this album sounds. 85 instruments and production. And the overall vibe, generally I'm pretty satisfied with this album. I don't think it blows me away, but I like it. I enjoy it. It's got a unique attitude to it. It's well executed. I'm giving it an 85. And of course, obviously, it's produced the biggest hits of Twisted Sister's career. So, there's that. Some real iconic metal tracks came out of this record. So you gotta give it credit where credit's due. Which gives it an overall score of an 84. And that is the same score, actually, as Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But Twisted Sister's unweighted score is higher, so they win the tiebreaker and land at number 294 on the ranking list.
That's pretty good.
It's all right. It's about middle of the road.
That's better than I was expecting with how you were talking about it.
I know. Well, sometimes I'm more critical than they probably deserve. This is about middle of the road for my 600-some album list. It's hovering around 300. I'm interested to hear what you thought about this album in total. You seem to have thoughts about each song. I don't know. They had their merits, but That doesn't mean you thought anything in particular about the whole bunch.
That's fair. For me, this album, the songs I liked, I really, really liked. The songs that I didn't like, I don't really care. They just kind of existed. There's nothing I really hated. The ones that I didn't really care for as much just kind of filled a void until the next one that I did like.
Okay, yeah.
It kept the tone alive, you know. It kept the vibe flowing until we hit the next one I could really jam out to.
I think that's a good way to put it. There are a lot of filler tracks that don't detract, but they keep you hanging on.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, I will be giving this. Oh, first off, I guess Connor top 3.
I was gonna say, whoa, jumping into it.
Connor top 3 in album order. Honorable mention off the rip. Stay Hungry.
Right off the rip. Is that an expression that I just don't know? Or did you just make that up?
Yeah, off the rip.
Yeah.
You never heard off the rip?
No, not until right now.
Feels like it's a thing. Don't think I just made it up.
Let me Google it. Oh, here. Urban Dictionary says, off the rip, the beginning or onset of an activity.
Yeah.
Or, very cool. Or, to eat or drink an item directly out of the container.
Oh, that tracks.
Yeah, so you drank this album.
I drank this album right out of its container.
There you did. Like all that milk.
Ugh.
You drank that milk off the rip.
But Connor will mention Stay Hungry.
Yes, right.
Followed up immediately with We're Not Gonna Take It.
Pretty immediate.
And jumping down to I Wanna Rock. Followed up immediately by The Price.
So your top 3 is in pairs this week. You did the first 2 and 2 right back to back in 5 and 6.
Sure did.
Unsurprising. Actually, well, slightly surprising. I'm surprised Stay Hungry lost out to The Price. Well, no, I was until just now. When I said it, I realized you're the ballad guy. So, unsurprising top 3.
That's right. And it's getting 6 sixthsters out of 10.
Six twisted sixthsters out of 10.
No, not I was just going with sixthsters. No twisted. Just sixthsters. Like, real hard to say.
How do you spell that? Is there an XTHT in that word? SIXTHTERS?
STERS. Yes.
Ew. Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. There's too many consonants in a row. Sixthsters.
It goes SI and then XTHSTERS.
Gross. What an awful unit. But it got a 6. Now, be honest, before you made the sixthsters joke, were you going to give it a 6? Or did you make it a 6 to make that unit extra special?
No, I did not make it I did not make it a 6 to make it extra special.
Okay, well, a 6 is a little higher than I predicted for you. I kind of thought you'd put this at a 5.
Really?
I did, I'll be honest. You didn't seem super duper into it. Not that a 6 is super duper into it, but
yeah.
I mean,
I was super into it, but when you get down in the 5 territory, you get into where I start to have ones where I didn't like things about it quite a lot.
True.
Whereas on this one, the things that I didn't love just existed, and so it gets a 6.
Yeah, this is like a neutrally buoyant album.
Yeah.
It floats, but it doesn't swim.
Yeah, and it's going right above the biggest disappointments, the Beach Boys.
Wow. Okay. I don't think they were that big of disappointments. I think you got your expectations in the wrong place for that episode.
I think they didn't bring the right expectations to their album.
Whatever you say. Above the Beach Boys, though.
Yeah, above it.
You're really putting Twisted Sister above the Beach Boys.
Yeah, I really like I Wanna Rock and
yeah, really like it, huh? Really love this one that you're about to say. One of my favorites.
I really like I Wanna Rock and We're Not Gonna Take It.
I'll tell you what, God Only Knows is rolling over in its grave. Come on. But okay, it's your list, not mine. I'll keep my meddling opinions out, but just know.
Right, you will.
I'm deeply wounded.
Good.
Do we even need to talk about playlist picks? Or would anyone be surprised?
I mean, it's obviously SMF and the Beast.
Thank you. I'm so glad we're on the same page. We're not going to take it.
Yeah, well, I assume what we're going to do, We're Not Going to Take It and I Wanna Rock.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Those definitely have to be it. Ironically, we are going to take We're Not Going to Take It. And here we are, standing once again at the end of another long journey through a famed and fabled album. What an adventure it's been.
We played Factor Spin.
We did.
We said everything we wanted to say about the album.
We sure did.
We took away lots of notes from Final Spin.
We sure did. And we went clubbing with Twisted Sister many a time.
We closed the day by going clubbing.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna just about do it for us. If you want more Spin It, if you want to see what other albums we've done or what albums we're doing next, you can find us on social media or on Twitter at SpinItPod, on Instagram at SpinItPodOfficial, and on the web at www.spinitpod.com. So give us a follow, give us a visit, drop by, say hi, tell us what you thought of the album, send your fan facts or spin our way about any previous artists we've done. You can just lie. You know what? We might be the only podcast out there that invites you to call in and lie to us.
I think we might be. I love it. And if you don't want more Spin It, too bad. All that stuff still applies.
It still applies. We're still there. And we're still here wherever you're finding this podcast and everywhere else. We'll see you next week. We got another fine album from the Findies lined up that I'm very excited about. It's a genre we admittedly have underrepresented so far, and we're really going to get into it. So stick around to see what that is 7 short days from now, or less if you're listening to this album after the day it comes out, or on a leap year. And until then, have a great week and keep spinning.
Keep spinning. Do you think we could get a club to let us tear it apart?
Do you think we could host a podcast recording in a club where everyone that showed up, we could let them demolish the place as we recorded?
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
It'd be pretty cool.
I'll see if I can call in a favor with Twisted Sister. Next time I go clubbing with him, I'll pitch the idea.
Have you ever been clubbing in your life?
No, absolutely not. Actually, yes.
Oh, really?
Technically, I think.
What's
If I know what clubbing is.
What's that mean?